Russia, also known as Putin's drug fiefdom. I'm not blaming Putin for that, but it's just easy to make the Putin jokes. Well, I'm going to default right to CNN for context. They released a great video regarding what is going on with the Olympic doping scandal that has been taking place for many years. Take a look.
The damning and could have a profound impact on the future of Russian athletics. Recommendations include suspension from upcoming competitions and lifetime bans for some athletes. World Sports' Alex Thomas joins us now from London. Alex, such disturbing findings from this commission. Even they said it's worse than what they first thought.
That's right, and has implications not just for athletics in Russia, Linda, but also for all sports globally. We know Interpol have already chipped in the last hour to say they're going to increase the scope of any investigations globally. And we know as well that Dick Pounds, the chairman of the WADA independent commission that's been looking into findings from a German, or looking into allegations from a German TV documentary last December, and had quite a narrow remit, nonetheless has hinted at some of the implications beyond the sport of athletics and beyond Russia as well, saying no reason to believe athletics is the only sport in Russia to have been affected. But the top line, as you say, Linda, is that this WADA commission has accused Russian athletics of being of state-sponsored doping, was the phrase that he confirmed when asked by journalists. The report says there's a deeply rooted culture of cheating. And as you say, 5 athletes and their coaches have had recommended lifetime bans. And also the recommendation, the very strong recommendation, is that Russia's Athletics Federation should be suspended immediately, casting a huge question mark over their participation in next year's Rio Olympic Games.
You heard that correctly if you were very closely paying attention to CNN's International Desk video. The president of the World Anti-Doping Association is actually named Dick Pound. And amazingly, because there's a porn star named Dick Pounder that Cenk did an interview with about 2 years ago. Francis can barely contain himself. I ran inside to try to show people I didn't think that was real, because the quote from the founding president of the World Anti-Doping Association said, quote, "It's worse than we thought. This is an old attitude from the Cold War days." Again, Dick Pound. I know, you're dying over here. The serious note of this is, and you read into the IAF and the Anti-Doping Association's report on this, a lab once destroyed more than 1,400 samples, going back to also impersonating lab engineers during the Winter Olympics in Sochi just last year. And on top of that, the athletes that are competing against Russians in mostly track and field, that's where the largest percentage of tests and samples came from, including Alicia Montano, was saying that she had to make a game plan for her Olympic medal races because she knew she'd be racing against robots, essentially, because she knew that, like, I have to figure out a way to either get a better start off the block, find an advantage that won't, because she knew endurance-wise, she was at an unfair disadvantage because they were so not doped up in general, but it's not that I'm really surprised by this, because there's so much corruption in world sports. Like, we see it with the World Cup. We've seen it with FIFA, right? Now we see it with the Olympics. But what's interesting to me is that it went so far as to impersonating lab engineers, destroying samples, and as they mentioned, it hasn't been seen this bad or badly since 1970 East Germany.
Yeah. I mean, right, to take it back a couple of notches, if you don't laugh at the name Dick Pound, then you're not human. All right, anyway, but as you said, I don't care really who I'm going to offend with statements like this. Either is like, I'm not surprised. It is not uncommon for Russia to help in adjusting their outcome of any results. And I think that Dick Pound's words are heard, and I think that many people are looking for action. Now, I do want to understand completely, like, this is when we talked about it off camera. When it comes to sports that are like this, when it affects endurance and it affects your performance, you want to look at the results. So when you look at the past, and I mean, Russia, let's be honest, have not been known as the most, as a team that wins overall at the Olympics. Like, they don't emerge victorious over anyone else. If they were
They should be if they're
That's what I'm saying.
juicing.
If they did more so than anyone else, like, don't get me wrong, every place in the Olympics counts. I think every team wants to finish as high
By
as
the
they
way,
can.
and real quick, it's important too, it's not just Russia.
Yeah.
They just had the overwhelming majority of, not majority, the overwhelming percentages of those who were found doping.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like, but if it's not like, if we were to go back to the last Olympics and they would have finished first, like, you'd be like, this is outrageous. Nonetheless, they still need to bring this up. They still need to bring this to light, because I don't think that Russia is the only organization that may be involved in this, and it is a serious matter. I hate any sort of fixing to adjust the outcome. Just go in based on ability. That's the way these things are supposed to work. And as you mentioned, corruption is rife at the moment. It is rife throughout sports. Russia are now, there's no surprise to me why Russia are perhaps more so under the magnifying glass than anyone else, because when it comes to the World Cup, many people are looking at their involvement in that, how they managed to obtain the World Cup, whether or not it may have been adjusted with FIFA.
The big difference, I think, with FIFA and this is that the FIFA, when you look at it, is going by, it's not affecting the athletes as much. I know if you're making a World Cup in Qatar, I get it. There's people dying building the stadiums. I'm fully aware of that. But it doesn't affect the athletes as much in terms of advantages or disadvantages. It's more on the overhanging power that's causing this cloud of doubt with the corruption. With doping, with the athletes itself, it causes an unfair advantage for every athlete that's performing in that event or events.
Undoubtedly. And that could pose the question, though, will this affect, or could it affect the World Cup in 2018 in Russia? Now, I don't see, people will say, well, how does it directly affect it? Because it's not involved. But it just shows that if the Russian Federation of Athletics as a whole is being investigated for something like this, then what else are they going to investigate when it comes to this? We know that ongoing investigations with FIFA are still overwhelming. There's still like so many new pieces of evidence that comes out. Blatters
every day.
investigated,
The head of the
it's
German...
almost, you need a specific field, trust me. Well, TYT Sports here, we're a team of like 3 or 4 people, and we work hard to try and follow FIFA, but that is an everyday job to try and figure out what's going on.
You know the rabbit hole in Matrix?
That is it.
It's down
Would
the
you take
rabbit
the blue
hole.
pill?
I would absolutely take the blue pill, undoubtedly. So, by the way,
Don't be tested for it.
Dick Pound is also based off the man sitting next to me, Francis Maxwell. When we first started doing videos with the One True Geordie, you can check him out on Monday mornings on TYT Sports, and you can check him out at his channels. He has a gaming channel, which he also does GTA 5 kind of mockumentary style videos. So let me introduce you, Francis, I think you've already seen it though, and the audience, to the OG Dick Pound.
I know what you're thinking. How is that ginger lad so ridiculously good looking? Well, I know that ginger people, I mean, they're usually very ugly, and I'm the exception to the rule, I'm not going to lie, but that's not important right now. What is important is my name, Dick Pound. And there's 3 things you need to know about Dick Pound. The first thing is, Dick Pound loves fast cars. Dick Pound loves even faster women.
Oh, that feels fucking good.
And Dick Pound always refers to himself in the 3rd person.
That is you! You guys did like 3 videos together, and then that got released, and he's got a bow tie, a pink shirt. You refer to yourself in the 3rd person. You like fast cars.
Answer that.
You like fast cars. Don't like faster women. I'll be nice. That's fair.
I have got a fetish for fast cars. I don't have a fetish for prostitutes.
You have a fetish for the 3rd person.
But I would love to refer to myself in the 3rd person. There's nothing better. But I tweeted to Geordie today, like he predicted the future. He predicted that Dick Pound would emerge and would eventually investigate and bring to justice cheaters. Up the Dick Pound. Up Dick.
Up the pound.
Who knows? But the Geordie, as we said,
Disgusting.
we'll look into this story more so as more details emerge. But we've got to give credit to our friend the Geordie. That was a hilarious series. There is actually now a petition, and we are signing it here. TYT Sports are signing a petition, sign it, Jason, that we signed to bring back Dick Pound to the people. Give the people what they want. Everyone needs a pounding, especially from Dick. Subscribe.